for afternoon tea? Colonel Carberry and I have gone to a great deal of trouble to arrange this spree, and I'm sure you will find it informative, refreshing, and even entertaining.
It's like a scene from a play.
Yes. Well, if you wish to present a comedy, you must first set the scene. And the same is true even if it turns out to be a tragedy. Ladies and gentlemen.
Complete waste of British military resources.
Colonel Carberry has done me the honor of consulting me.
Why? Why the devil should he bring you into this business?
I'm often brought in cases of sudden death. Mrs. Boynton's death gave her family not only financial independence, but also a liberation from a tyranny which had become well-nigh insupportable. Raymond Boynton had been overheard discussing the possibility of taking Mrs. Boynton's life. He had fallen in love. You told me you returned to the camp at 5:30 and spoke to your stepmother. And yet Dr. King informs me that at that time she was no longer alive. Now I put it to you that you returned to the camp. You saw your stepmother and you discovered that she was dead. Did you tell anybody about this? No, you did not. You pretended to talk to her and then you walked away. Now, why on earth should you do that? You who could not possibly have been guilty of her murder. Because Mrs. Boynton was dead some time before you returned to the camp. Your mind went back to that conversation you had had aboard ship with your sister Carol. Had she perhaps carried out your plan? Done the deed? Were you in some way trying to protect her?
That's a damned lie.
Let us consider the case against Carol Boynton. Admitting that the murder was committed by a lethal injection, we already know that Dr. King's syringe had been tampered with. But there was another syringe, that found by Miss Quinton, and claimed by whom? By none other than Carol Boynton. What have you to say to that, mademoiselle?
It wasn't mine.
But you claimed it, did you not? All right. All right, I believe you. You claimed the hypodermic because that was the instrument which you and your co-conspirator, your brother Raymond, had selected. You were afraid that he had killed your stepmother. You, in your turn, were protecting him.
All right, Monsieur Poirot. You win.
How did you conceive your plan, sir?
I read it in a detective story. Sticking an empty hypodermic into someone injects an air bubble which kills them.
So you just purchased the syringe yourself?
No, I took the one Nadine had. The thing was, I dropped it before I could use it. And then when I found Mother dead, I thought maybe Carol had... Well, of course it was incredible, but the shock of finding her dead like that.
Thank you, Mr. Boynton. You may resume your seat.
Time is pressing on, Monsieur Poirot, and I can't see that this is leading anywhere. Can you, Colonel Carberry?
Better let Monsieur Poirot proceed in his own manner, dear lady. He usually gets that in the end.
Usually? Always. Who then was responsible for the killing? Dr. King. Was she eager to free Raymond Boynton from his stepmother's clutches? No. Because when Dr. King left the encampment, Mrs. Boynton was still alive. When Dr. King returned, Mrs. Boynton was dead. This has been proved by an independent medical report. And what of the youngest of our suspects?
Oh, really, Monsieur Poirot? That's not fair.
I will not have Ginny be accused of such a thing.
Then what about you?